our NFL Midseason Award revisions. We'll start with the spice at the top. Tell me who you had originally for MVP, and now that we're about 9 weeks through the NFL season, 8 weeks, who is your MVP as of today?
I originally picked Tom Brady to win the MVP this season. I said he'd lead the league in yards and touchdowns. He is currently leading the league in yards and touchdowns, and I'm not revising that pick at all. It's still going to be Tom.
Yeah. Can't get on you for that. Tom looks absolutely great. He's actually going to be down here in some of my awards later on. But y'all know I was really on Josh Allen before the season started, and he's kind of came out and stunk it up so far. Through a few quarters against the Dolphins, again, the Bills' defense was nothing. Josh Allen felt like nothing. Steelers game, nothing. The other Dolphins game kind of struggled through it. The Texans game, we've seen it with Josh Allen. But we know who's the best quarterback in the NFL right now, who's playing absolutely lights out. It's going to be Kyler Murray for me, the MVP as of today, going into this part of the NFL season. Kyler is absolutely balling. Former #1 overall pick. We knew who Kyler was coming in. He just had to make a few layups. Now he's getting smarter, seeing the field better. Kyler Murray is my MVP right now, walking into this point of the season. Now, we had Coach of the Year also. Give me your OG, give me your revision, if you have one, for 2022 Coach of the Year.
I do have one for that because I predicted that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would be at least 16-1 this season, which they've already lost 2 games, so clearly they're not doing that. But Bruce Arians was going to get it by default just for that reason.
Yeah.
Now I've shifted gears. Got to be Cliff Kingsbury. He's got the team sitting at 6-2. Mm-hmm. Arizona was 8-8. This is going to be a massive turnaround from one season to the next. I know a lot of people will try to credit it to Kyler's health, but Kyler did play 16 games last year. Whether you want to call him hurt or not, he played in all the games. This team has turned a corner. I definitely will go at this point. It's got to be Cliff.
Cliff Kingsbury for the Coach of the Year. I'm actually not going to change my here. So my original was Sean Payton. I said it, if this team could produce defensively, if they could figure out ways to win games, if they could, again, face everything with their backs to the wall and still be coming out on top, if they just even can make the playoffs, Sean Payton will get the nod for this. And I'm not going to revise that. I'm still sticking with Sean. At 5-2, I think the Saints are ahead of schedule. Again, 3rd straight year, no QB1, and they're finding ways to win games. The defense is obviously locking down, and the Saints are here to make their mark as much as they can in the weird transition stage that they're in. For the city and especially for Sean Payton. So I'm not going to change my Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year. Tell me your original before we started. Tell me who is it at your mid-season point.
Originally, I was going to give it to Josh Allen because I thought he was also going to have a great year but not win MVP because of the season and the record that Brady and the Bucs would have, so he would get the consolation prize. Now it's looking like Cooper Kupp. Cooper is balling.
Potentially.
Leading the league in catches. Well, he's not leading in receptions, but he is. He's leading in in yards and touchdowns.
Okay.
He's high in receptions, but he's damn near at 1,000 yards already halfway through the season with 10 touchdowns.
Wow.
I mean, Cooper Kupp is having an amazing year over there with Matt Stafford. I mean, there's nothing you can say. I mean, he also could be a candidate for comeback player of the year because he wasn't available to Goff last year, which was one of the things that I said was not going to be fair in judgment. Goff didn't have the weapons available to him that Stafford's got because half his squad was hurt last season when they went 10-6. But Cooper is balling.
You almost said Cooper is hooping, didn't you?
I did.
That was good. It's okay. That was good.
It was going to flow, but it was wrong.
Right. Hey, I would have let it fly, brother. No worries. No worries. I would have let it fly. My original coming into this year was Tyreek Hill. And I don't think he's on, the clip to get the Offensive Player of the Year. He's still playing great, but he's not going to be putting up numbers at the clip that my midseason prediction will be, and that's going to be Tom Brady. Like you said, leading the league in yards, leading the league in touchdowns. He'll either win MVP or Offensive Player of the Year. I don't think there's any doubt about that. His age, of course, is going to sway a lot of voters, but let's not act like he's not producing on the field. Let's not act like Tom Brady is not playing lights out basically every game he can. I mean, I think he's got 3 to 4 games already with 4 touchdown passes. That accounts for so much of the production already in the year. So I am going to take Tom Brady as my midseason Offensive Player of the Year. Now we move on to the defensive side of the football. Who was your original Defensive Player of the Year and who will now be your Defensive Player of the Year?
My original Defensive Player of the Year was Myles Garrett. I told you he was going to go for 20 sacks this season, and you looked at me like that's a big number. 8 games in, 10.5 sacks.
Yep.
I'm not moving off that pick. Myles Garrett is going to get his 20 sacks. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, and I told you so.
Yep. The Bears game had a lot of help with that, too. But if he can get another game like that under his belt, I mean, this dude could go for, hell, what if he went for 25? Now, that would be crazy, but I could potentially see that 20-sack Myles Garrett coming up. So my original was Jalen Ramsey, one of the best corners in the league. We know he likes to give people like D-Hop and DK Metcalf fits, and those are guys in his division, so mad respect to him. But when we talk about a dude who is no question game in and game out this year, has been the ball hawk of the NFL, it's Trayvon Diggs. I mean, look at the kid picking so many games, picking every game, if I'm not mistaken, maybe besides one or two.
He didn't get one last game.
Right. But the fact that Trayvon Diggs is able to play, he is a wide receiver in a corner's body. He is a wide receiver playing the cornerback position in his second year in the league, just absolutely being able to put up numbers at this clip and chasing the record as well of Night Train Lane, whether it might be, X amount of games out or not. But I am going to flip that from Jalen Ramsey to Trayvon Diggs. Offensive Rookie of the Year, your original and your revision, if you have one.
My original was Mac Jones, because that was right after we dropped Cam.
Yep.
And was like, all right, Mac is going to start the whole season.
Looks.
So, I mean, at the quarterback position, if New England finishes with a winning record and makes the playoffs, then it was going to be very easy for him to win the award.
Yep.
Which I think he's still in prime position. But if I had to make a choice right now, it definitely has to be Jamar Chase. 38 receptions for 786 yards, 7 touchdowns. I mean, he is absolutely balling. I didn't think he would be that. I mean, especially like those ridiculous comments that he made. Like, I thought this was really just an LSU reunion. Like, they were trying to rekindle a flame, and it really wasn't going to work. They really look like the 2019 LSU offense with Burrow throwing to Jamar Chase. It's nothing short of amazing.
Yep.
Both of them are balling out of control. And at this very moment, if they gave the award today, it would have to go to Jamar.
No question. I can't even elaborate anymore on that. When you talk about Jamar Chase already being a top 5, top 10 receiver in the NFL as a rookie right now, I mean, if you're not taking Jamar Chase for Offensive Rookie of the Year, I mean, you're just clearly not watching the game. You're being a hater. You're just trying to be different, whatever the case may be. I originally had Justin Fields, but that's clearly not going to be the case right now. Jamar Chase is going to, y'all had to do me like that, did you? Jamar Chase is clearly going to be that guy to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Give me your original. Give me your revision if you have one.
Defensive Rookie of the Year, originally I came with Pat Surtain. I mean, it seemed like a great pick, especially how they started out. Denver was 3-0. The defense was actually balling out of control. Right at this point, I feel like it could be Micah Parsons. I mean, he's really showed out for a Dallas defense that is extremely improved, and we all know how bad that defense was last year. It's basically like if you can outscore them, you're good. Stop them a few times. Like they have turned an extreme corner with that defense out there in Dallas, and I think Micah Parsons has been a major part of it. Clearly, along with Trayvon Diggs. I mean, he's having an out-of-body experience at corner this season, but Micah is also a big part of this, and I think his stock is going to improve because of what Trayvon is doing.
Yep.
And they could very well be teammates winning these awards.
100%, yeah. And they're literally going to feed off of each other. America's team defensive player of the year has to go to Trayvon. So yeah, Micah Parsons is going to get a lot of looks there. Yeah. My original prediction was Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the linebacker for the Cleveland Browns. And he's not doing bad. I want to say he's top 5 in the odds to win it. But I think at the end of the day, if we're talking about production right now and really where this guy was taken in the draft and the way he's been producing like an upper talent, give me Azeez Ojulari, the Georgia boy, playing for the New York Giants right now. I said it last week, 5.5 sacks. In the game he had just the other week, couple tackles for loss, couple quarterbacks hits, a couple sacks, and people are overlooking him because he plays for a Giants team. But when you talk about the size that he is and the way he's able to move on the field and his speed overall to the football, I got to give it to Azeez Ojulari right now at the mid-season. Now, before we pop out of here, man, we always talk about it every year, and it's always speculated. How do you get it? How do you qualify for it? What has to happen to get comeback player of the year? Give me your original. Give me your midseason.
My original was Dak Prescott. Him having the injury 5 games into the season, him coming back this season, Dallas sitting up there at 6-1.
Yep.
They're looking great. Dak has been playing extremely high level, elite level football. But at this moment, I'm going to give my comeback player of the year to Joe Burrow.
Ooh, okay. Mad respect on that.
I mean, either one of them could go for this award, but at the very moment, the Cincinnati Bengals, we were expecting to be
like a 5-win football
decent team that lost a lot of games, that were in a lot of close games. And now the Cincinnati Bengals are contending to win the AFC North, contending to be a high-seeded playoff team.
Yep.
They're like a legitimate AFC contender as it stands at this moment. Joe Burrow is playing excellent football. He's 6th in the lead in passing, 3rd in the league in touchdowns. They've got a 5-3 record, sitting at 2nd in the AFC North. Nobody saw this coming. He had promise last year, but the strides he made from a very short rookie campaign to what he's doing right now, I think that's enough for him to take the Comeback Player of the Year award away from Dak, even with the injury and how well Dallas is playing.
Mad respect on Joe Burrow's name, brother. So my original was Christian McCaffrey, but we've seen him go out since week 3. The Panthers haven't been the same. I'm going to flip it to Dak Prescott. I think there's no question that Dak is going to win this. The fact that he is playing as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and he is playing the best football of his career off of an injury, the athleticism, the accuracy that he's throwing with right now, he easily is making better decisions and looking like a better quarterback on the field for the Cowboys right now. So I am going to give it to Dak Prescott for my midseason comeback player of the year.